Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas Cowboys, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. The Pittsburgh Steelers are adding veteran QB Aaron Rodgers to the roster ahead of the 2025 season. According to Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, the Steelers will add one of his former New York Jets teammates. One last point, put me down for this. I fully expect that sooner than later and no later than training camp, the Steelers will trade for Jets receiver Allen Lazard. I've been waiting for that one to happen, Florio said. Advertisement. 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 They kicked the tires on Gabe Davis, who was cut by the Jaguars last month, I believe sometime after the draft, and they've been waiting to know what Rodgers is going to do. Lazard is a perfect complement because when Lazard is with Rodgers, he plays really well. When he is not with Rodgers, he does not play very well, Florio explained. The question becomes, what do the Jets want? They may do the song and dance for a little bit, but at the end of the day, if the Jets can get any value out of Lazard, a guy they would have cut if he hadn't taken a massive reduction in his pay for this year, Florio said. Anything they get is going to be a win for the Jets, except in Week 1 when they have to face Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard if the trade is made. New Jets general manager Darren Moogie said he and Lazard's representation were working through it to see what was next. Ultimately, both sides came to a compromise. Lazard remained on the team, but after taking a massive pay cut. The Jets and wide receiver Allen Lazard have come to terms on a new contract, per a source with knowledge of the negotiations. Lazard, who was scheduled to earn $11 million in 2025, took an $8.5 million pay cut to remain under contract with the Jets in 2025. $1.75 million of his salary for the year is guaranteed. As part of the revised contract, Lazard will now become a free agent in 2026, Jason Fitzgerald of Over the Cap explained. While that opened the door for Lazard to potentially stick around on the Jets in 2025, it also simultaneously made his contract more tradable. Trading Lazard could be a risky proposition. Lazard has been an underwhelming free agent addition for the Jets. Through 2 seasons, he has posted 60 catches for 841 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. During that stretch, Lazard has struggled with a league-low drop percentage, and he has an affinity for penalties. From that perspective, the Jets could benefit by giving that player to the Steelers. However, where it could come back to bite the Jets is ahead of the season opener. The Jets will host the Steelers in MetLife Stadium. Florio expects them to trade Lazard to Pittsburgh ahead of that game. Lazard has been with the team all offseason, learning the offensive playbook and nuances of Tanner Engstrand's new offense. If the Jets traded him to the Steelers, he could share some of the trade's secrets of the new offense, giving a competitive advantage to Pittsburgh. The green and white have the element of surprise right now. Engstrand has not called plays at the NFL level. There is no tape on what this offense will look like or what the plan is for quarterback Justin Fields. The Pittsburgh Steelers will soon sign Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal as they become a team that the Denver Broncos used to be. After Peyton Manning retired following Super Bowl 50, the Denver Broncos endured nearly a decade of poor QB play. QBs like Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, and others started games for the team. And during this stretch, the Broncos were trying to put a Band-Aid on the issue when the real solution needed to be a surgery. Following their last failed QB experiment with Russell Wilson, the team decided that enough was enough. They cut Wilson and took on the biggest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL, but they took a gamble, and they took the gamble in the right way. Bo Nix soon proved himself to be a franchise QB in this league, and the Broncos ended up being one of those lucky teams to hit on a first-round QB. Well, with Aaron Rodgers headed to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers themselves are becoming the team that the Denver Broncos used to be. Steelers are trying the route of washed-up, veteran QBs. Following Ben Roethlisberger's retirement after the 2021 NFL season, here are all of the QBs who have and will start games for the team. I don't need to explain to Broncos fans why this route is a bad idea, but the Pittsburgh Steelers seem to be convinced that this is the route they want to take. The other notable thing here is that the Steelers roster just isn't all that good, so what exactly are they trying to do? Pittsburgh might be in for yet another 9 or 10 win season, but what is that going to get them in the long term? If nothing else, Broncos fans should be thrilled that the Steelers are delaying the inevitable and again trotting out a washed-up veteran QB. The Steelers have made 4 trades this offseason, each bringing in players who could make an immediate difference in the starting lineup. The headliner of the trades was Dallas sending draft picks to the Pittsburgh Steelers for electrifying wide receiver George Pickens. This trade builds a dangerous passing attack with quarterback Dak Prescott and all-pro wide receiver CeeDee Lamb that could rival the NFL's best defensive trios. The Steelers are expected to wrap up their high-profile free agency moves and enter training camp with what they have, but that doesn't preclude the opportunity to fantasize about another trade that could shake up the Steelers' offense even more. Anthony Palacios of Last Word on Sports speculates that since the Cleveland Browns drafted talented prospect Harold Fannin and are entering a rebuild, Pro Bowl tight end David Njoku could be available in a trade. Njoku is entering the final year of his current contract, and despite being one of Cleveland's best players in recent years, the Browns could hand the job to the rookie if it helps them usher in a new era with their new quarterback core. The uncertainty at center could also lead the Browns to believe that Njoku would like to leave next offseason, so they could try to get value for him early if possible. Palacios lists the Steelers as a potential trade partner. Last season, tight end Jake Ferguson had one of the worst seasons of his career. He's hopeful for a big turnaround, even if it looks promising after the George Pickens trade, Palacios said. However, anything can happen, and Njoku offers plenty of experience that the Steelers could benefit from. While Njoku certainly provides more experience and athleticism, the Steelers likely aren't interested in shelling out extra draft capital if they can avoid it. And comparing their 2023 seasons, the year both players made the Pro Bowl, Njoku's numbers are only slightly better. The Browns' tight end finished with 81 receptions, 881 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Adding Njoku to that group could result in a crowded situation with guys demanding touches that Steelers would rather avoid under the coach.